Are we any closer to saving the world from global warming?
Absolutely. There were all the commitments by almost 200 countries. And this summit today will provide the political muscle that is required. Remember, 2018 is the time where we take stock, and then we launch these 5-year cycles where we will know where we are. It's like a GPS system in order to know whether we're making enough progress. The problem that we have is that from the very beginning, even those commitments by these 200 countries were not enough to get under the 2-degree limit. So we need to do better than that. We need to know where we are, but we need to go for more ambitious goals going forward. This is why this summit is so crucial.
Yeah, and how do you bridge the gap between a President Macron on the one hand and a President Trump on the other?
Well, first of all, because in the case of the United States, we are very sorry that the U.S. left the Paris Agreement, or decided that they would leave the Paris Agreement. It takes a few years. But then, of course, the governors, the mayors in the cities, and then the private sector, business, the schools, the universities, the culture, the people. There's such vibrancy, and everybody is going green. Everybody's going cleaner. In fact, emissions are reducing in the United States vis-a-vis the baseline scenario. Hopefully this will continue, but the rest of the world is actively going in that direction, except, for example, 2/3 of the emissions are still not yet taxed. And in those that are taxed are below $10. We need to have maybe 40 to 60 dollars per ton of avoided CO2 emissions by 2030, and maybe in the second half we need to go to 80 and then zero net emissions in the second half of the century.
Yeah, there's also a certain disparity between more developed and less developed economies, Mr. Gurria. In terms of aid flowing from richer countries to poorer ones, what progress is being made on those figures?
That's very important. There was this 100 billion fund, or 100 billion availability. We at the OECD determined already in 2015 that we were on the way. This is for 2020, where the 100 billion have to be available. We're making progress. We then went to Marrakesh, we then to Bonn. We're making progress. We're getting there, but it's going to take political will, yes, but also creativity in terms of financial instruments. And it's going to be crucial to get the financial markets on board and to make the question of defending the climate a good business. To make, the fighting climate change a good business, a creation of jobs, creation of investment, technology, etc.
And you talked in your speech about the Paris Collaborative. Tell me how the Paris Collaborative can help a city as polluted as your Mexico City. Like many other global cities, Mexico City has its own geography, its own bowl, its own challenges of pollution. How does the Paris Collaborative actually improve the air in Mexico City?
It's about budgeting. It's about taking a hard look at every single allocation of public monies and whether it is consistent with reducing emissions. This is going deep into the budgeting process, making it greener for the sake, of course, of cleaning the air, not only in Mexico City. France is also joining. Other countries are going to announce that they are considering joining the Paris Collaborative. And so it's a way of life. It's a state of mind rather than a technique.
And now one final question, if I may, and as we do on Bloomberg Surveillance, I'm going to rip up the script. You've lost a good one this month in Catherine Mann, your economist. She, I thought, gave spirited value and really redirected OECD to a new, invigorated economics. What's it like losing Catherine Mann? What are you going to do about that? Who are you going to go out and find?
It's painful and it's tough. We lost her to a very important private sector entity. She will, in time, let you know. But we are now actively seeking her replacement. And just like we found her, we have systems which we hope will make us find a good replacement.